Welcome back to 6 and 6, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. We begin today in Brazil, where they are launching a comprehensive proposal to transform its digital landscape, focusing on attracting data centers and establishing robust digital competition regulations. The government aims to position Brazil as a leading digital hub in Latin America by offering tax incentives, simplifying bureaucratic processes, and prioritizing sustainable technology development. These strategic initiatives are designed to stimulate economic growth, protect consumer rights, and modernize the country's digital infrastructure. From Reuters, quote, Brazil is making a concerted effort to establish itself as a major player in the global digital economy. With the launch of these proposals, we are aiming to create an environment that is conducive for growth of technological companies and data centers, a Brazilian government representative said, end quote. Next, we travel across the Atlantic to Nigeria, where the president, Bola Tinubu, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, sir, has lifted the emergency rule in river states, a critical oil-producing region, signaling improved security conditions. The decision reflects the administration's efforts to stabilize the area and support local governance. This move is part of a broader strategic initiative aimed at addressing underlying security concerns and promoting economic development in the Niger Delta. From Reuters, quote, President Tinubu's administration has been working persistently to address the underlying causes of insecurity in the oil-rich regions of Nigeria. The lifting of the emergency rule signifies not only an improvement in the security situation, but also underscores a commitment to restoring normalcy and supporting local governance, end quote. Next, we travel down to Cuba, where they have appealed to the United Nations to address a perceived increase of militarization of the Caribbean region by the United States. Cuba officials argue that the U.S. military actions and exercises are threatening regional stability and peace, and the appeal highlights an ongoing tension between Cuba and the United States. From Reuters, quote, we have witnessed an consistent pattern of military maneuvers and establishment of military bases which contribute to a climate of tension and suspicion, said Cuban Deputy Foreign Minister Ana Trista Gonzalez. She further emphasized, quote, the time has come for the international community to prioritize diplomacy above militarization, end quote. All the way across the world in South Korea, the Unification Church is currently under investigation, focusing on its connections with high-profile individuals, including former First Lady Lee Hee-hoo, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, ma'am, church leader Jin Sao, was questioned as part of a broader probe into the organization's intensive influence and potential controversial practices. The investigation aims to uncover the depth of the church's political and social reach, raising significant concerns about its transparency and ethical conduct. From Reuters, quote, the question of Jong Sing-shao's a prominent leader of the Unification Church, underscores the escalating scrutiny of the church activities in South Korea. While the investigation continues, questions about transparency and ethical conduct of the church remain under intense public debate. End quote. Then we travel further south to New Zealand, where their economy has experienced a more substantial contraction than anticipated, with the GDP falling 1.1% in the second quarter. The decline primarily stems from reduced activity in construction and manufacturing sectors. This economic downturn is intensified and has changed the expectations of the Reserve Bank in New Zealand. From Reuters, quote, the 1.1 GDP decline represents a significant economic challenge for New Zealand, underscoring the need for prompt monetary policy interventions, said economic analysts. Quote, we are seeing unprecedented pressures on key sectors like construction and manufacturing, which will likely prompt the Reserve Bank to consider more substantial monetary easing strategies, end quote. And finally, we travel up to the northern hemisphere on the western hemisphere, if that makes any sense, where we're talking about Denmark, but not just in Denmark, actually, Denmark and Greenland, because Denmark is preparing to lead a major military exercise in Greenland in 2025, focusing on Arctic defense strategies without U.S. participation. The operation will involve multiple allied nations and aimed to strengthen the regional military preparedness amidst growing geopolitical interest in the Arctic. This exercise represents a strategic move to enhance Denmark's independent defense capabilities and readiness for potential environmental and security challenges. From Reuters, quote, By not including the U.S., we are signaling to our intent to independently strengthen our military presence in this strategically vital region. With growing interest in the Arctic's navigational routes and resources, there's an undeniable need to reinforce regional defense capabilities. End quote. And of course, if you want to read any of today's articles in their entirety, all of them will be linked in the description below the like and subscribe button. Also, down there, you can find the podcast on Spotify, Podcast, Podvine, as well as the Twitter handle at Your Daily Flip, where I post links to these episodes on Tuesday and Thursday, and the normal America Focus podcast on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe, don't die,